Hi girls, it's Mrs. Landavazo. I know I promised you videos over the summer. I had an incredibly crazy summer and I just fell behind on that. I'm so sorry. You guys have started classes again. I hope you guys are having a great time in school. And we will be starting Crochet Club pretty soon. I need to coordinate with Miss Sandoval, and hopefully Miss Atkins will come back and volunteer, and maybe Miss Untalan, I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm gonna work on the tote. Arnie, you're the one that asked me for this. I'm gonna make a small version of it and you guys can make it bigger. All you basically need is your crochet hook as usual. I like using the I hook, which is 5.25. I love my little scissors. I have these. You can just, any pair of scissors that'll cut the string, that's all you need. So I'm gonna start small. I'm gonna make a chain of 40. That's a fairly small bag. If you wanna make a bigger bag, you can make more chains. I'll show you now. Let's just do that quickly. So start your slip stitch and you're gonna do your chain. I'm gonna move my camera a little so it's a little closer to me. Okay, so start your chain of 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, going off camera, sorry, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Now you don't have to count, but what you can do is just measure and see how tall your bag is going to be. So these 40 chains are going to be half of your bag. So your bag is going to fold up this way. So the bag is going to be approximately the size of the hook. So this is a small bag. So the only reason it's going to be the size of the hook is I'm going to add a small border at the top. So if you want to make a beach bag or a huge bag, just keep going with your chains and make it bigger. If you want to make a tiny bag, you can go with 20 chains to start with and it'll be half this size. And that could be a little keychain bag. Whatever you'd like, this is optional. Now, I'm going to teach you a new stitch, which I think is a good stitch for bags because it is not so short as a single crochet, but not so long as a double crochet, so the holes in the bag are not so wide and things won't be falling out. So when you get to your end of your stitches, and it might be a good time to count too, even though you do a lot, because that way you know you're not skipping stitches while you're doing your rows. Okay, always on this one, we're gonna add in chain 2 before you turn. Chain 2, and then in the third, 1, 2, 3, chain from, you're gonna do it like a double crochet. You're gonna yarn over, put it in the third chain from the hook, and then you're gonna yarn over, but instead of just going through 2, see you end up with 3, you're gonna go through all 3. That's the only difference between a half double crochet and a double crochet. So yarn over, put it in the next one, and now you're gonna go all the way across. Yarn over, pull it out. You have 3 on your chain like we do with the double, but yarn over and pull through 3. Let's do another one. You're gonna yarn over, put it in the next chain, yarn over, pull it out. You're gonna have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Notice how small the stitches are smaller. They're not as tall as a double crochet, so that means there won't be as many holes in your bag, so things can fall out. And you can always put a liner in there, sew some fabric in there, but this should be tight enough to hold most of your things without anything falling out. I've made several of these bags over the years. I made one to hold my computer when I was in college. I've made them to hold my iPad. I've made them just as a purse. I made one for my grandson one time as a Halloween bag, so you can use them for anything. So you're just gonna go across and keep doing the half double. Yarn over, put it in the stitch, yarn over, pull out. You have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, I'm gonna continue all the way to the end. I'm gonna pause for a second and I'll come right back. Okay, I've done 35, so let me finish the last with you guys. So 36, 37, yarn over, put it in the next step, 38, yarn over. This is why it's good to count them, so that way you make the same amount of stitches all the way across on every line. Because if you start making less, so say one row has 40 and then the next row you do 39 and the next row 38, your bag is going to start going at an angle. Okay, so I have 40 all the way across of the half double crochet. Now I'm going to do the next row, which is very easy. Chain 2 to lift it up, turn your work, and you're going to do the same thing all the way across 40 stitches, or if you're deciding to do a bigger bag or a smaller bag, then that's how many stitches you're going to go across. So if you're doing a tiny bag, then if you're doing 20, then you're going to go 20 across. If you're doing 100 because you want a big bag, then you're going to do 100. It just depends on what you want to make. I would recommend doing a smaller bag to start off with, just to make sure that you know what you're doing, because otherwise if you get into that large bag, you might start getting frustrated when you have to count your stitches and you start losing count. Anyways, let me do a few with you and then I'll go off camera and finish the row. So here's 1. Okay, yarn over, go into the next stitch. You have 3 on the hook, pull through all 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do 5 and then I'm going to come back when I have as many rows as I want. I think most likely for mine is probably going to be, I don't know, 15 to 20 rows to make it as wide as I want it, because it's going to be this, approximately this tall. This is the height of the bag. So to get to that width, to make it an even sized bag, I'll probably need about 15 to 20 rows. I'm not sure right now. I'm just going to be looking. I'm just going to eyeball it as I go, and when it gets to as wide as I want it, then I will go ahead and stop and I'll come back when I'm there. So again, you're just going to keep going all the way around, keep going back and forth, back and forth. It's very repetitive. So yarn over, put it in the next stitch, yarn over, pull it out. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and you're going to do that all the way across. The main thing you want to make sure is that you have the same amount of stitches on every row, because if you start getting less or more, your bag's gonna either start going inward, or if it's too many, it's gonna start going outward. So you need to make sure you count your rows on every line and make sure you have the same amount. Whatever you decide you want to start with, you have to have that on every row, and then you can make it as wide as you want. You can make it so the height and the width are the same, or you could make it longer, wider, so that way you have like a long short bag. Just depends on what you want. Okay, I'm going to continue and then I will be back.